What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is a Patreon request for a good friend of mine, EGP Wonder Chef. This is a very special video. This is a game called Skullgirls, which you might have heard me talk about quite a bit on this channel. The song is called Down the Rabbit Hole, Black Dahlia's team. Before I get started, for those that don't know, Skullgirls is in my personal top 5 OSTs of all time. I mentioned them a lot on this channel. It has a huge, diverse soundtrack with Vincent Diamante, Michiru Yamane from Castlevania. Some of the coolest, like jazz, noir, just all over the place. It's just some metal type stuff. It's really cool, and it's all like hand drawn as well too. So it's a really committed community with a very passion project feel. In fact, I'm in the credits of this game, but that was a long time ago. That was when before it released. So you may be asking, why is this shit on the channel? Well, I only played the first. Well, I didn't play. I was like a QA tester on it for the first, beginning part of the game. So anything after that, I never owned the game. I didn't like play it myself like that. So any DLCs, anything like that, that's after my time. So I don't even know who Black Dahlia is. So that being said, apparently this is composed by Darren Malley and Insane in the Rain Music. Some familiar YouTube names. I'm excited for this. The hopes are high. I really love this soundtrack, but I have not heard this song. Down the Rabbit Hole. Sorry for the long intro. Let's go. I'm gonna assume that that's Insane in the Rain. Wow. There's a lot of reverb on this keyboard right now. Sounds so airy. Don't worry, I hear the bass line. I'm just listening. Damn. The fact that it's my favorite instrument too. Woo! That sounds very Skullgirls right there, that kind of like background airy saxophone. That's kind of like a thing across the whole series. Kind of has a little bit of a like a beat to it, which is kind of new for me. There's a lot to talk about here. This was very nostalgic for me, but also very new because there's a sound that I associate Skullgirls with and a sound I've been missing out on. There's probably a handful of songs I haven't heard because of, like I said, I don't know like what came after that original first year. So first of all, I'm going to assume that the horn section, the saxophone and all that was Insane in the Rain, and the piano stuff, or possibly the beat, was Darren. I don't know that. I'm just guessing. To be honest, totally honest, I've heard the name Insane in the Rain, and I've seen like thumbnails, but I've never seen a full video. I guess now I have to change that a little bit because, I think it's really cool that developers or what have you like reach out to YouTubers in this modern age. I don't know if they reached out to them or vice versa, but it's just cool that like, the idea of your celebrity is different now. Now it's, like the people that are part of the community and fans that can contribute. And I think we've kind of come full circle in a way. So, man. And then the other part is that time it had kind of like a beat to it. Not to say that Skullgirls doesn't have like beats, but this one had more of like a kind of boom, boom, pa, boom, boom, pa, like very kind of progressive type of beat, which is kind of new to me. I think the closest thing I can think of from the soundtrack that I know that has that sound is In Rapid Succession. I'm going to probably name off some of my favorite songs in this video because there's a lot. So from what I'm guessing, obviously, based on the character and the name of the character, I don't know the history of Black Dahlia. I know that it was a significant... Sorry, I really didn't look this up or anything. I know it's like a historical figure. I'm pretty sure it was a real person. I know there's a band called the Black Dahlia Murder. I know it's a whole thing, right? And like that era, you can see the Tommy gun. It just screams like 20s and 30s or what have you. I don't know the exact period, but I can feel all that here. So I need to personally go look up more of that. But they really seem to have kind of nailed this look. It's obviously kind of like a sexy look, but looks kind of demonic. And I wish I knew more about the Black Dahlia, but I don't. I just know that it's a thing that exists. Very noir. So per usual, Skullgirls. I wasn't. I didn't expect anything less, but it's very smooth. It just oozes style. The whole soundtrack is like this. It has such a care to it. And think of like, well, I also didn't mention it's a fighting game. So there's that. If you can imagine, I guess the closest thing I could think of would be like Cuphead. Think of like Cuphead if it made a fighting game, I guess, as far as visuals and kind of music. But this came way before. I believe, if I recall, it might have been like 2014, 2013. I don't keep up with it. I'm sorry. It's been over 10 years. But I just know that I was a part of it for a little bit, and it was a fun time. But in that time, and I'm not even good at the game, by the way. But in that time, honestly, I don't know if anyone here has been in QA. It's a pretty monotonous job, and it could be very cool or very boring, just being honest. And in this case, I remember they put me on this, and I just tested it. I didn't do a specific sort of any testing. I just played it, really. Just did story stuff. But I was there for hours a day just kind of listening to the stuff. And I remember even playing when there were characters on screen that were just like placeholders. They were just like little white paper-looking characters. Anyways. But some stuff really stood out to me, even back then. And I was like, this is an amazing soundtrack. Like, a lot. The one that really stuck out, part of my favorite song, is The Lives We Try to Reclaim. And I always confuse it with the Maple Crest theme, whichever one that is. There's that one, and then there's like the slower acoustic version. Both of those are my favorite. The lives we left behind, and The Lives We Try to Reclaim. I think that's what it is. Then there's Dirge of the Divine Trinity. Hopefully I'm getting these names right. The Fisherman's Dance, something like that. That one's also by the Castlevania composer. there's just so much, you know. There's so much. Nightmare Crest. Um, they all fit the whole aesthetic. It's so cool. And that's why this game is like, it seems to be immortal. You know, if anything, it's probably the most popular it's been now. I haven't really, you know, associated myself with that community in a long time, but I mean, I know they're still kicking, and that's pretty admirable for a game that's not easy. You know, think of like Marvel. You know, like multiple characters on screen, big long combos. It's a pretty difficult game to get into, but apparently it's quite a rewarding thing. But anyways, the song. You know, I'm extremely biased. I knew I was going to be. If you've watched any of my videos prior, I talk about Skullgirls music all the time. Like I said, top 5, like, but my favorite soundtracks of all time. Every single song I like, and they're all so different and cool. And you know, you know, it's nice to see that they kept the tradition. I was a little nervous going to it. I was like, maybe they fell off or something, but the bar was set so high. That's the only reason I thought that. But overall, I really love it. I love saxophone. Obviously, everyone I think knows that. But I really, really admire the whole like the YouTuber collaboration here and trying new things. They're not afraid to do new things and keep going. You know. So I can't say enough good things about Skullgirls and that game. And I guess just, you know, play Skullgirls, but that's the meme, right? But it has a special place in my heart just because of, you know, it was my introduction to like the, I was gonna say like game development, but I didn't stay in that career. But it was one of the first things I worked on. And the music was so strong that I stayed interested in it. Not the game itself, because I don't play it, but the music. So anyways, too long didn't read. The music is phenomenal. This one's phenomenal. Down the Rabbit Hole, Black Dahlia. I still need to hear some other ones. I don't think there's any Skullgirls requests beyond this one because I think people know that I've heard the whole soundtrack, which I haven't. Apparently, there's probably like, I'm guessing, I don't know, just like a handful left that I haven't heard. And if anything, it's kind of cool that I didn't hear them because now I can take that opportunity to do it here. So, but who knows when we'll get to see Skullgirls. I'm just happy that I got to hear anything new from it. I don't know how old this is. This was uploaded 5 months ago. This is the official Skullgirls channel, by the way. Anyways, thank you to Wonder Chef, of course. Thank you to the passionate Skullgirls community. Also, I did a little mini cover of cheap plug. If you look up Skullheart Arrhythmia, I did a little guitar cover of that. I've done a couple of guitar stuff for Skullgirls. It's really good. Anyways, thank you, Chef. Thank you to the community, and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters that you see right here, and a big thank you to my Platinum supporters on Patreon, which get priority requests. That is Kevin, Patrick, Terry, Vanadil, Callanan, Gardeling, Mushamari, Justin, Knox, and Triage101. Again, check out Insane in the Rain music and Darren Malley. Go play Skullgirls. Until next time, dudes and dudettes, my name is Jesse. Have a nice day. Peace.